After spreading my apothecary franchise throughout the land, I now have enough power points to go and talk to some mages, which we already just did. Wait, isn't Alexius supposed to contact us first? Wait, choosing the mages will make it impossible to work with the... Okay, is that because they're at war, or is it because we're on a time limit? Considering we're a wholly military organization, also known as a bunch of thugs, shouldn't we be able to have them all sit down and talk to us by threat of war? Or even have one party go to the mages and one to the Templars? We have lots of people, or do we need Mr. Green Hand Rift Sealing Power Dude to make them change their minds? I don't really get what's going on here. Anyway, it seems Alexius has already invited us to the castle to negotiate again, but Liliana and her spies will infiltrate it and stop the Venatori while we talk to Alexius and distract him. Okay, how is that going to work? How many Venatori are there and what can they do? How are our spies going to be able to stop them? Are they mages? I don't know how this is going to work, but apparently this is our only option?
We don't have the manpower to take the castle.
Wait, I thought we were using spies. What's going on here, Mr. In charge of military affair person?
Either we find another way in, or give up this nonsense and go and get the Templars.
Redcliffe is in the hands of a Magister. This cannot be allowed to stand.
The letter from Alexius asked for the Herald of Andraste by name. It's an obvious trap.
So because they used Trevalier's name, or our Inquisitor's name, that's an obvious trap? We just met the guy. Maybe he's just being polite. Can someone please explain to me how this is a trap based on him using our name?
So we've heard from Magister Alexius. I expected as much.
Well, I should hope so. He said he would contact us, and if he didn't, well, we wouldn't be doing anything.
And yet some of us want to sit and do nothing. Not this again.
Redcliffe Castle is one of the most defensible fortresses in Ferelden. It has repelled thousands of assaults. If you go in there, you'll die, and we'll lose the only means we have of closing these rifts. I won't allow it.
Okay, Cullen is making sense. Redcliffe's a fortress, historically has stopped sieges, and if we die, we can no longer close the tears. That makes sense. So why are we even going? Why don't we make a team without us? That sounds okay. Let's just say we couldn't make it. Say we're sending an emissary. What's wrong with that? Write a really nice letter saying these people are more than capable of forming an alliance and we're kind of busy trying to stop the Templars from killing your mages. See? Everyone would like this idea. Isn't diplomacy wonderful? Isn't that why we have you around here, Miss Diplomat Person?
And if we don't even try to meet Alexius, we lose the mages and leave a hostile foreign power on our doorstep.
That raises a good point. How about we just contact the Crown? Hey, King, the Tevinters are here. We need some manpower. See, we're planning ahead.
Even if we could assault the keep, it would be for naught. An Orlesian Inquisition's army marching into Ferelden would provoke a war. Our hands are tied.
How exactly is this a diplomatic issue with us? We have no allegiances to Orlais. It's like saying the Vatican has allegiances to Italy or Europe. But even if we did have a political issue, all we have to do is talk to the Crown. And like the Crown, we don't want to venture in here because, well, that complicates our three goals of sealing the breach, restoring order, and discovering who's responsible. But if we get the mages, we'll begin to solve their little civil war problem. It's win-win. Let's go do that. We have ravens and we have no problems walking places.
The Magister
has outplayed us.
He just invited us to negotiate, but we're a military organization. All we have to do is prepare. Call the Crown. The Crown exists for this purpose, that is, to protect against foreign invaders. We could also disguise our troops, which I thought Liliana is doing since they're spies, while we distract Alexius. Apparently we're not doing this anymore?
We can't just give up. There has to be something we can do.
We cannot accept defeat now. There must be a solution.
Where is the Earl of Redcliffe? I'm sure he'd help us get his castle back.
After he was displaced, Arl Tegan rode straight for Dunnerim to petition the Crown for help. I doubt he'll want our assistance once the Ferelden army lays siege to his castle.
Okay, so the Arl went to Denerim, and the crown is coming. So why don't we go to Denerim, or send those to go catch up with them, or go on the main road and catch up with the army, and finally talk to the crown already? Are we going to lose mages in this entire skirmish? What's the problem with just going to Denerim?
Wait. There is a secret passage into the castle, an escape route for the family.
Yes, thank you, Leliana. Wasn't that the original plan?
It's too narrow for our troops, but we could send agents through.
Are our troops the size of trees? Do we have an army of golems? Like, how small are these passageways?
Too risky. Those agents will be discovered well before they reach the Magister.
That's why we need a distraction. Perhaps the envoy Alexius wants so badly.
Focus their attention on Trevelyan, while we take out the Tevinters. It's risky, but it could work.
Okay, so it seems the summary on the war table was exactly what we're going to do anyway, as opposed to us disagreeing on actually doing that thing. Kind of defeats the surprise and suspense and, well, everything else from what this scene is supposed to be showing us of what's going to happen. We should just read the summary and just skip through all this.
Fortunately, you'll have help.
This man says he has information about the Magister and his methods, Commander.
Well, look at that impeccable timing. What are the chances? BioWare, the king of contrivance. No explanation on how he got here, or how the spy found about him, or how anything to do with the proper way to open a door from a secret meeting we're planning. Anyone could have just walked right in here. Where did our guards go? It seems that we had more guards stationed here before we started the Inquisition.
Your spies will never get past Alexius's magic without my help. So if you're going after him, I'm coming along.
The plan puts you in the most danger. We can't in good conscience order you to do this. We can still go after the Templars if you'd rather not play the bait. It's up to you.
Okay, do I have to click on the war table again? Maker's breath, Cullen. We're going to frickin' Redcliffe already. The game's just not letting us talk to the crown. That's the 4th time, 2 times by Cullen and 2 times by our dialogue options, where we can just choose to go after the Templars during this entire conversation. It's kind of hard figuring out what the game wants us to do anymore. It's not exactly a means of building tension through conflict here by giving us other options, when those options aren't as smart or practical as ones we don't get to choose. We end up feeling more distraught and incompetent than tense and pensive on how good these choices should be, or should at least make us feel. The music is certainly trying to do that for us, though. So we choose to go again, and we're going to Redcliffe. Again.
Announce us.
The Magister's invitation was for Master Trevelyan alone. The others must wait here.
Okay, and now it sounds like a trap. So we go see Alexius.
The Inquisition needs mages to close the breach, and I have them. So, what shall you offer in exchange?
I'd much rather discuss your time magic.
Why would you want to do that? All we want is the mages. Let's just trade for that and leave. Why are we talking about time? Why did this even come up? Why is this even an option? This is not even diplomatic or subtle. We're supposed to keep him occupied. Why would we just give up the entire charade?
I'm afraid I have no idea what you mean.
And Felix comes clean and tells his dad that we know what's going on. We try to ask Alexius what our mark is for, but he says it's for our betters, and we're just a mistake.
Father, listen to yourself. Do you know what you sound like?
He sounds exactly like the sort of villainous cliché everyone expects us to be.
And there's Dorian. Having the narrative self-point out villainous cliches is the first step to admitting there's a problem with your villain. The next step should be trying to fix this problem, which arguably never happens. Of course, the writing is difficult, and having self-referential humor is a sign of an experienced writer trying to lighten up a scene, but that's only the first step. Many more steps need to directly address and solve the actual problem. And it comes very close to breaking the fourth wall by directly pointing out such cliches.
The Elder One has power you would not believe. He will raise the Imperium from its own ashes.
Okay, so Alexius's plot is to bring back the Imperium, though he previously didn't when Dorian was around. and our agents are humorously working in the background, killing his Venatori with quiet arrow attacks. I don't know how arrows can penetrate that weird-looking horned metallic Japanese mask, but maybe our guys are excellent shots.
You can't involve my people in this.
Alexius, this is exactly what you and I talked about never wanting to happen. Why would you support this?
Stop it, Father. Give up the Venatori. Let the Southern Mages fight the breach, and let's go home.
No. It's the only way, Felix. He can save you.
Save me?
There is a way. The Elder One promised, if I undo the mistake at the temple.
Okay, so Alexius's other plot is to save Felix from something, and he thinks he can win the Elder One's favor by going back in time somehow and presumably stopping us from acquiring the mark at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. Now, while this is happening, Liliana's agents act, and all of Alexius' men and with the weird metal Japanese demon masks are dead. I guess they were the Venatori. They were just some non-mage, weaponless dudes standing around. Anyway, Alexius does something in some floating necklace thing. Dorian gets angry and tries to knock it away. Some portal opens up, and then you find yourself in the middle of some watery dungeons with Dorian, fighting dudes. So apparently Alexius randomly threw us into some point in time, though he probably wanted to erase us from time, and Dorian potentially saved us there. Now we're somewhere displaced within Redcliffe Castle, and there is giant, dangerous, poisonous, pulsating, mind-altering red lyrium stalagmites, like everywhere. And we're just walking next to them, past them, and on top of them like it's nothing. Because in Dragon Age Inquisition, apparently, they physically mean nothing. And then we find Fiona in a cell. And she's growing red lyrium out of her.
Is that red lyrium growing from your body? How?
The longer you're near it, eventually you become this.
Listen to me, Hatcher. You gotta tell them Soylent Breed is people! We've gotta stop them somehow!
Then they mine your corpse for more.
Okay, who is mining you for your red lyrium? Is this stuff contagious? I mean, it's everywhere. Is it like a parasite where people just like dead on the ground and they just start spouting? Like, how did this start? Okay, remember how a handheld idol of the stuff drove one dwarf, people who are supposedly immune to lyrium and magic, insane? How long has she been near red lyrium? She doesn't seem insane.
Can you tell us the date? It's very important.
Avestmir. 942 Dragon.
942? Then we've missed an entire year.
Okay, so we've gone forward in time. This is kind of the opposite of foreshadowing. It directly reveals the future without us using our imagination or deductive skills, and with the story being non-subtle. It's literally the future. It's kind of quick to achieve, but kind of like cheating. But hey, it's magic. We've come to the future to see how bad it has become, and thus it is implied the protagonist and Dorian are granted a sense of value. They must then make their way back to prevent this future from occurring. That's totally fine. Now, Fiona has been technically near red lyrium for a year. During Act 1 of Dragon Age 2, Bartrand first touches the red lyrium idol and loses his mind to the voices. At the start of Act 2, 3 years have passed. Bartrand had since sold the lyrium idol but kept a shard of it to himself. Obviously, the quantity is an issue, and being a dwarf has his magical resistance, as he didn't start growing lyrium on himself during those 3 years. However, it's revealed in Act 3 that Meredith brought the red lyrium idol from Bartrand sometime between Act 1 and Act 2 and made it into her sword. That's from 4 to 6 years of having a red lyrium sword on one's back. Why didn't Meredith start growing red lyrium on her body, and instead she was just insane for 4 years? This was the time, writers of Dragon Age, to finally describe and show us what red lyrium is and does. You cannot start inventing things that contradict what has already come before. you have to explain yourself with detail and make sure it matches up. Having shards of the stuff drive you insane, while giant deposits around you do nothing, is inconsistent. Now, this all could have been explained away with the breach. It must have something to do with it, or maybe the mark. It seems the breach can cause time travel too. Maybe it can cause red lyrium to not drive you insane, and instead cause you to grow red lyrium out of your body. I don't know, it's not my story, but what the hell, writers? Figure it out, and be consistent. So Fiona says there's someone called the Elder One.
We have to get out of here. Go back in time.
Please, stop this from happening. Alexius serves the Elder One, more powerful than the Maker. No one challenges him and lives.
That Magister's going to regret he didn't just kill me.
What, and spoil the opportunity for a competent mini-boss? What, do you expect the writers of this game to actually be something better than writing a Saturday morning cartoon villain? So our only potential hope, according to Dorian, is to find the amulet that brought us here, provided it exists. Well, not great chances. I guess that makes things a little more suspenseful, but it sounds pretty depressing and kind of contrived. Gee, I wonder if they're going to find this amulet. Let's ask BioWare's crack team of contrived writers. So Fiona says that Leliana's here somewhere, so we're off to go find her.